sessions of podcast that we usually do every Thursday at 6 p.m. And so far we've done much, and we are still continuing, and we hope that during this session they are very educative, and we've made the topic that are student-based, based on our senior needs and the people that we really like that we encounter daily in our lives as campus students. I'm your host today, National Chino from St. University Kisumu Campus Christian Union, and is very glad to be here today. We are at the residence of our campus staff, Samson Faraja. You can see some very beautiful scenic view, and we are privileged to be joined by our two guests today, who are our Christian Union members. One of them is a member, one of them is the other one is our campus staff from the Focus office. So just before we go to what we want to introduce, discuss about today in a podcast session, I want to give them a chance, maybe 1 minute to tell us about who they are. So I'll start on my right with my good friend Jeff.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Jeff Mwangangi. I'm a fifth-year student. I'm so glad to be here to have these conversations. I love conversations. And to start with, I am born again. I love Christ. And I've walked with Christ for some years now. And I hope that today, as you're going to have this conversation, you're going to be blessed as I'm getting blessed also. Thank you.
Samson.
Thank you so much, my brother Nation. Opportunity. May I start by welcoming you guys at my place. Feel free, feel at home. This is your place. My name is Samson Faraja, as you heard our facilitator telling us. I am a staff of Focus, serving as a STEM staff. Focus is Fellowship of Christian Unions, and STEM staff means short-term experience in ministry. I am glad to be serving with the Maseno University Kisumu Campus Christian Union as their campus staff, and it's really a joy having such young men who are passionate in serving the Lord, who are passionate in doing ministry, and we are going to be blessed together. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, you heard from our guests today. So today we are privileged to discuss about living out faith, especially now as Christian students, in the secular changes that we have in our campus, especially this new world where things really change. It's not like the early church, where things were done in a way. The world has really grown, but how do we as Christians now also dodge in these ways? And basically, you see, like the way people do have relationships, the way people interact nowadays, the way people preach, a lot of things have really changed different from the way they were being done previous. So today we want to just see the practical ways of how we can really live as Christians, especially now as students in the campus, with the secular changes that we go through, especially in the campus. Now that one of us has also exited the campus life, is going to also tell us, but we also have us who are still in campus, we also wish to learn, and also you as the viewer also wish to learn. And so my first question is going to be, what are some of the secular changes that maybe you've experienced in campus life? Secular challenges that you've experienced in Christian life as a student at campus life, now that you've been in for almost 6 years.
That is important to mention. I've been around, but I think there are so many changes that have happened since I joined campus, and I joined campus when I was born again, and I'm still a born again. But as you navigate through life, you find there are so many things that sometimes you don't understand them, how they are happening, because we are living in a world where the normal, but what was right now is not the normal way, but what was wrong is the normal way. In that I mean, what was considered virtuous, now it is a vice, and vice versa. Before, there are certain ways or principles that when someone hurt them, people looked at them as if they feared God and they had values that they honor. But today that is not the case. When you hold certain values and principles in life, people view you as the outdated one, backward, and they really don't understand if you are going with the current trends. You see, so there are so many things that I've experienced that maybe I feel everyone has experienced in campus. One, there is the pressure just to be this student in campus, living like others, just being a student. Everybody expects you to be this student when you're just a student like others, like you're able to do everything. If you're able to go to club, you're able to go partying, you're doing all manner of things, you're in a relationship, life is moving as a student, and that's what they consider. But now when when it comes to Christianity, I think it's somewhat different because all these things are good, but whatever is not done according to the will of God or in knowledge of what God wants you to do, I think is not right. And I believe when all these things come up, and I found myself in center of it. I did not. Sometimes you could see the life of other students, and sometimes you could admire that life. You want just to be like them, and to be able to party, to go clubbing, maybe to have relationship, even to sleep around. Like that is the reality now. But the problem is the God that is in me cannot allow. So I had to align myself with all these changes. So to go back to your question, the changes are so many. If I analyze like the normal life, I think these changes are the normal way of life. How people do their life. Waking up in the morning, doing your normal routine, going back to sleep, doing the next day the same. All those activities that if they are not governed by the principles of God, then I believe all those can bring up the change that you're talking about. And I feel those things are so many.
You just reminded me of something about partying. I remember my first time when I joined campus, and they say they call this precious night. Yes. So back at Maseno River they're going to have precious night, and I said, okay, I've been hearing about these things, and the way people have put it, like it's a very interesting thing. Let me go and look, take a look with my own eyes and see what usually being done there. So I went back there. What I saw people doing, I said, I will not attend any party there. Yes, for guys are just there, and there people just smoking and like smoking bang there. Guys are just drunk, and the kind of things they do, they are so weird. I feel like my head is swelling, and I just told my friends, okay, guys, if you are going to continue being here, just continue. But me, I'm going to sleep, and I just went and slept. So I mean, these are how people start life in campus, like just like this one. So I know the thing that people usually like people. I don't know. It's like something that's taken like a very important event in campus. Like if you don't organize for people like a fresh and high, they're like, you guys are not serious. But the kind of things they do there, especially now when you come back there after events have unfolded and everything is done, you get so many weird things. But anyway, that's not what we're going to see. Yes, you can tell us you had went through all these things. What are some of the secular challenges that you went through in campus, especially now when you're introducing Form 1, now it's journeying through up to fourth year and also finishing?
It is interesting what I heard my brother Jeff mention, that the wrong things are now normal. People are living doing the wrong things as if it's nothing, it's not a big deal, and you wonder what kind of world we are living in. If I could just give an instance where we were in our lecture room, and this lady walks in. I'm like, guys, is this lady dressed up? the lady was half naked, just to be but honest. He was half naked, and I was wondering what is it? Is it that this lady is lacking so that she can't cover her body up? Yeah, and you really wonder in those days in the days of our forefathers, people used to cover all their bodies. You see a lady putting on a nice dress, and they were really decent, and they were really looking very beautiful. But in the present campus life, you see our ladies have been deceived that being beautiful is being exposed, or what I would say, being half naked. And it's really a challenge. It's really a challenge to young men now that you are trying to pursue righteousness, you are trying to pursue your faith, and you are in every corridor of the campus, you're meeting these ladies. I mean, you'll be tempted to do some of the other things that happen. But also, I happen to have lived in a hostel for quite some time, and you could see the people you are staying with in the hostel. Every weekend they are going out to party, and when you are left behind, they are like, "Guy, you are left behind. You are not. I don't know what term to use, but you could feel the pressure from them that when you don't go for party, when you don't take alcohol, when you don't smoke, you are left behind." But also the way they were exchanging ladies. I mean, having many girlfriends is an achievement. You are being named. You are being named after the number of ladies you are working with as your girlfriend. They say that Jamani Mnoma, but people don't know that they are getting lost. But that is just to mention, but a number of things, a number of changes that has happened. You know, those days we used to know that when a young man was of age, or he was ready to get married, his parents would look for a nice lady for him to marry. That is what happened in most traditional families, or most traditional setups. But nowadays, you want to have 5 girlfriends, and you want to sleep with all of them. They say that body count. They would ask you, "What is your body count, my brother?" And you are like, "What are you saying? What is that?" Yeah, it is something that is sounds funny, but it is not something to laugh about. These are realities that are in campus, and our young men and women are being taken away by these things. Yeah, my brother Jeff said it well, that the things that are happening, the normalcy, the wrong is normalcy. The wrongs are the things that we are doing right now. Mention 10 things that a young man is doing, 99% are wrong. Yeah, that is what I would say.
Yeah, I've heard about what you said, and many of the things that, the many other that maybe we've not said. But again, when I don't know, when it comes to like who to blame, especially now in these changes that occur, because I understand most of the students when they come, their parents advise them, when you go there, look for a church, go to the Christian, you want to be a Christian, remember that you only went to study. But now you come to the campus life, and guys just change. Even some get mess themselves in the first day. I'm like, are these guys serious? So what do you think the challenge is, that maybe these people not getting in touch to adapt, to follow the instructions? Could it be that maybe our parents have failed? Because probably I'm questioning about the relationship that our parents have with their children. I understand there are families where the parents are very strict, and they can say, in this home you must be home by 6. This thing has to be done this way. Or the churches where they don't even allow ladies to mingle. Is it mingling or associating? Let me say associating is a better word. Associating with boys. You see, when you are seen, for example, in the village, they are working with a girl. These guys must be dating. You can't just have a friend and have conversations. So I think probably some parents have also been giving advice, because they are giving out it's like threatening someone, but not really sitting down with someone and telling this is bad because of this way. If you go to campus, you have to associate with boys like this. You're going to meet friends, you associate with this. I think it has been an issue with friends. Don't come here when you are pregnant. Something like that. So where do you think the challenge really comes from? Who is to blame? Is it really the parents, or is it really the upbringing of these people, or is it that these people are not willing to learn, or don't care about the consequences of their actions. Yes, Jeff, maybe you can start us off.
Okay. For me, I feel I would take it to blame the parents or the child, but I feel there are so many factors that contribute to all that. And let me begin with dealing with the child. Nowadays, in families, you find even if you are born in a Christian home, you understand the God of your mother or the God of your father, but not your God. Parents have taught their children to understand their God and not the as their gods. What do I mean? I mean this way. Some people, most of us who are born in Christian home, you find even we go to church because my parents told me to. I believe in God because my mother believes in God or my father. But I think it's supposed to be there's supposed to be a difference whereby when a child is born and you as a parent you start to teach the child about this God, and it reaches a point that now that child understands that God as their father, not the God of my mother or the God of my father. To the level whereby when someone is, let's say in class 5, class 6, class 7, they understand God by themselves, not the God of their father. Because if I understand the God of my mother, when my mother is not there, then I have no business to do with God of my mother. I'm on my own that time. But if I understand God is mine, and I love it, let me quote the Bible. I love how Joseph had known God from his early age. The Bible says, oh, you know the story how it happened, and now it reaches is in Potiphar's house. And this woman is like, I really need to sleep with you. But I love what he said to the woman. He told her, how would I do such a thing and sin against my God? This man understood it was his God, not the God that he had. And I believe it is because maybe of what he had known about God since he was young. Like he understood, it's about my God, not the God of my father. Remember, this time he is in a foreign land. He was sold when he is young, but still, because he understood God by himself, even when he was there, he was able to refer God with all the obedience and respect, despite his father being far away. That is the case scenario that can happen when someone is in campus. Your mother taught you, or brought this issue of obeying God, living for God, knowing God and everything. Now, what will bring the difference for a child who has been taught to understand God by themselves is when they are far away. You are in campus, you are married in the village. And now you have to make your decision based on what you know from within. And that's I think that's one of the reasons. One, let people be taught to understand God by themselves. That I cannot not do this, not because I fear my pastor. Even people today fear their pastors in church. You find someone at home is very nice because my reverend is watching, my spiritual father is watching, my spiritual mom is watching. When we talk about their father, when we talk my mom who is every time talking about gospel. You see, get my point. But now immediately I'm out of them and I'm away and I can't see them within my vicinity. What I'm now conducting myself is about not the God that I know. You see, that's one. Second thing, I feel it's about how the world is changing, and I feel it is a new fact that we all have to understand that things are changing and there are new dynamics of life that are happening. So one, we have to understand that when you are teaching maybe your children and raising people, even in church, young children, you must understand what they are about to face in the world. The world is very cold, and the world does not care. It doesn't understand you are a young person already. It will give you the side of life that it feels like you're supposed to have. And now, we understand that when we understand that, we'll be able to teach and to have these discussions and conversations that will help these people to navigate life when they are sober enough. I usually feel salvation is not by itself. I know prayer works. People can pray. But today, there are people even who are praying, but still they are deep in the things that we feel. And even let me not say we feel, because it's not about faith, it is about what the word says. It's against the will of God. Not because they don't pray. They pray. But there are certain values that are taught, things that are learned. We should normalize people learning on how to navigate life, on how to live life, how to socialize with people, how to be able to have a normal friendship without having emotions in it. How am I able to survive on my own, not being defined by others? You know, how am I not supposed to succumb to this pressure whereby every person surrounding me is saying this and that, and I have to stick to these principles that I have? You know, so it's an item that we start to have this conversation. I feel some of it is being done the right way, but we are not still yet there. Maybe we need to continue having this conversation and speaking and trying all of us to learn and understand that life is changing. Social media is here to stay. Everything nowadays, not those days where people used to see pornography in magazines. Nowadays, you just need your phone and your Wi-Fi, and you're sorted. So that's the world that we're in. Social media, whereby whatever you can access anything. But really, when we teach these youngsters, or even we don't have taught, will I be able to navigate life? For me, I feel there are so many factors in life that we know. Also, other factors is those childhood traumas and everything, which I don't want to dwell on that, because I feel that that topic is so overrated nowadays. Everybody is talking about child trauma, which I believe they are there. People are traumatized for whatever reason. Some were raped, some were molested, some they were in abusive homes, and there is this devious character that raises after you have gone through so much hardship. So you find that even if these traumas are real, but I don't want to dwell on them, because we might misuse and miss the point. I feel life is more of you and what you decide to do with it. If my parents did not go to school, I cannot say I am not going to school because my father never went to school, right? Why do we insist that because my father was violent, it's okay for me to be violent? And that is the lie of the devil. Devil is teaching us to take the bad vices, the vices now, and to hide in it was trauma. But I ask myself, there are some good things that you have in life that your parents didn't have, but you did not pick what they have. Many people who are learning today, maybe their parents never went to school, but they would tell you, because my father never went to school, I'm not going. You get? They know it is okay to go to school. But now when it comes to having your morals right, you are like, this is no trauma. Which I feel trauma is there, but it's overrated. So yeah, for me, I feel there are so many things. I can go and go on and so many.
Thank you for clarifying that. Now, maybe to our CS Samson, what do you think are maybe the practical ways that, what is the role of the church now in shaping, especially now this generation, the Gen Z? You see how Gen Z, they are very zealous and they have a lot of energy. And somebody told me a joke somewhere that Gen Zs are different. When we were back in primary, used to be told that when an elderly person gets into the car, you should stand up and give them a seat because it shows respect. But now things are doing change, because the Gen Z will tell you that person mwenye alikuwa na ingia kwa gari, anaona gari imejaa. Si kuna magari hapo nje. Mbona mmeona tu waingie kwa hii gari yenye imejaa hata nikuje nimsimamie? They have really changed the way they view things. And Gen Z, they really question a lot of things. It's not like, when you are born, you're told, this is our church, you are just doing that. But now the ones who are nowadays, they question everything. why did God do this? Why did God kill the Israelites before they went to Canaan? Such kind of questions. So what do you think is the role of the church, or for example, Christian unions or these faith-based organizations, in really taming these issues and enabling the students especially to cope up with these things and and for them not to change the word to what is written in the Bible or twist it to suit what they think is comfortable for them in terms of the secularism. What are the role of the church in this topic?
I think the topic itself is interesting. It's a good topic to converse about because we at times want to blame our parents for upbringing. We at times want to blame ourselves, but for me, I don't think we can get a solution by playing the blame game. You know, there is a point that our brother Jeff mentioned that it's about you, and one of the important things that we are supposed to do as a church, or for our case or our context, the Christian Union, is to help these young people to know themselves. The first thing is self-awareness. Do you know yourself? Do you know your purpose? Do you know why you are doing the things you are doing? I just want to give you a short example of myself when I was in high school. I think when I was in Form 2, I was going to school because my father was paying fees. I was not going to school because I wanted to go to school. I was going because my father paid the fees, and it was worthy me being in school. And so when we were doing exams, I could do the exams that I want. I choose the papers that I do, and I don't do the rest. But there's this one day I went home and I sat down with my father. That day it was my turning point. I think in Form 2 we had done end of term 2 exams, and I took the report card to my father, and he looked at it and he said, "My son, you've done well. You passed the exams. I want maybe one of you to get the grade that I hate. Just a quick one. Don't overthink."
Form 2.
Yes. The grade that I had that time.
Probably a C plus.
C plus. What about you, Jeff?
A.
A. If someone tells you passed, it must be an A or a C plus. But that day I want to shock you that I had an E. My father told me that I had passed the exam. So I thought he didn't know what it means. My father is a bit old. I thought he didn't know. But then I went down in my closet and analyzed myself and said, why did my father say that I passed when I know I failed? It showed what I learned is that he's not concerned about my academics. He's not concerned whether I pass or I fail. He is concerned in paying my school fees. And I am studying for myself. That is the day I realized myself. And I said, all these things I'm doing for myself. So our position as a church or as a CU is to help people understand themselves. Once they have realized who they are, they have realized their purpose, they have realized what they want to achieve, and now they are free. Because they know when I make this decision, this is how it's going to affect me. When I make this decision, this is what is going to affect my life. And the second thing, responding to the point that Jeff said, that we are following the gods of our parents. You know, it is the truth that is there. That my father tells me that when I was young, this is what I used to do, but God rescued me. My son, you should not forsake God even a single day. He's pointing me to the law that helped him. He's not pointing me to the true God. So the point is, we should point people to Christ, not to what he did to us. The same way John says that we forget who does the miracles, and we want to follow the miracles. That is what is happening even in the church right now. We want the people, the preachers who do miracles. We want to follow the miracles. We don't want to follow the one who did the miracles. Yeah. So it is very important to point people to Christ, point people to God, and teach them the truth. Teaching the truth is that you let them know. You let them know the sin, and you let them know how it can affect themselves, and you let them know how they can overcome it. You teach the truth. You don't say that, by the way, smoking is bad. That doesn't help. I would want to know, how is it bad? I would want to go and test and know how is it bad. And testing might bring the addiction thing. Yeah, so tell them the truth. This is what it does. This is what it is. And this is how it can affect you. So the issue is not going around, beating around the bush, but it is striking the thing. Our parents tell us that relating with boys, with people of different gender is bad. Like you were saying, they find you with a lady, they tell you that you are dating. They don't tell you that when you move closer to this lady, you'll be attracted and you'll be tempted to do fornication, which is bad. You are telling me that working with Jeff is wrong because he will introduce me to drugs. You are not telling me. You are not telling me what he will do to me. You are telling me that it is wrong. That is what our parents were doing. If I would say what you are saying, so it is just telling the people the truth, pointing the people, telling the truth, not beating around the bush. If Joseph could tell his story, the way he prospered in Egypt, I don't think we would be preaching the prosperity gospel. I don't think we would be telling people that this is your season. It is a season. It came with something. There is a cost that he paid. So for young people, they should just realize that these things, yes, they come. They are there. We cannot run from them. The things are here. They are here with us. We are carnal. We are carnal. As much as we are carnal, we cannot escape from these temptations. But we just have to stick to the truth, teach the truth, and encourage these young men. Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, like I see time is really gone. We'll do next time we'll do our part 2 session because the topic is so large. Next time we'll be covering about how we as students can really balance between our spiritual growth and academics. You understand some of the people that because that really requires a lot of reading. They normally get this issue that I'm doing medicine, I'm doing law, so I've got a lot of time to read. I don't have time to read the Bible and then this case and fellowship, which sometimes is a fallacy anyway. So yes, we're going to see how we can navigate that, and also we're also going to dwell about the issue of peer pressure now in campus, because that's also an issue with secularism. Many people have gotten into fornication, into drug addictions, into a lot of things that maybe they were not familiar with, but because they got into peer pressure. So we're going to navigate about those in our next part too. Otherwise, thank you for joining this session. I wish I trust that you've learned a lot, and see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.